I really come from a country that has much more problems than you have in Germany. I take inspiration from Home Keller's words. We don't have the issue of decreasing immigration. We are actually losing our young people who come to Germany, to France, to other richer countries in the European Union. And at the same time, we have one of the fastest aging population in the whole world, also due to the immigration, of young people. I work for an organization called Open Society Institute. Actually, it's a global organization, but we are just the Sofia branch of it. The global organization has a headquarters in New York, and they are working all over the world. You can easily find their website by typing Soros Foundation or Open Society Foundation, and you will see that they are currently fighting the Ebola in Africa, protecting the rights of sex workers all over the world, making a global campaign for legalizing drugs and not criminalizing and putting people to prison. So I even understand they can get some further support from you. Actually, they do. They do try to generate a lot of public support. In Bulgaria, we are working mostly for the integration of some of the poorest communities like the Roma, and of course the building of Bulgarian civil society. And I will give you some examples from our work. And I just have some topics for you to remember about the non-governmental organizations. The first is that they are very diverse. Actually, they do almost everything that you can imagine in any country in the world, in Germany, in Bulgaria. They do practically everything that businesses and governments do, but they do it in a different way and for a different purpose. While for the governments, the most important, for example, is to follow the rules, the laws. For the business, of course, the most important is to generate profit. For the civil organizations, which are self-organized, the most important is to attain certain target. They have a cause. So everything falls into the domain, starting from volunteering, providing services. Often these are services that business would not provide because they go to people that just cannot pay for those services because they are too poor, live too far away. They cater, as I say, for the needs of various groups that are not sometimes reached either by the government or the business. And they are very influential public speakers for different causes. Actually, civil organizations can be more efficient in changing legislation than businesses or private interests because it is more legitimate when you don't speak out of your own interest, when you speak for some cause that is perceived as a public cause that will benefit everybody. I just wanted to show you this tapestry, which actually is this is a description, so to say, of Bulgarian civil society. We collect a lot of indicators on the organizations that we fund. And we are still giving a lot of grants. I will explain now what a grant is. And we have to report to the major donors who provide the money. In Bulgaria, money for non-governmental organizations often come from abroad. In our case now, most of it comes from the Norwegian government, but in Germany a lot of funding is provided by the big companies as well. So each row here represents an organization that we had funded during the year, and which column represents a certain indicator, like whether it's big or small, whether they are for certain issue or against it, and so on. And this was just a way to illustrate that it's a very diverse picture. This is a kind of the DNA of the Bulgarian civic sector. And I use this to explain to our Norwegian donors that we really have reached to a huge variety of organizations, just presenting it in one simple picture, because otherwise the full analysis of this data takes hundreds of pages. So here are some volunteers. These are Roma guys who we supported, but in this case they are working as volunteers in a place which was recently struck by a flood, and a lot of people actually died. So they are helping to put away the mud. These are ecologists who know almost every tree in our capital city, and they protect it against construction, against any decisions that would affect ecology. So now the main things that I would like you to remember about the civic organizations, especially if you decide to work in one, although the chance is not very big in every country. I'm not sure about Germany exactly, but there is hardly any country in which non-governmental organizations will provide more than 5 to 10% of the employment and even less of the GDP. So actually there's very few people working in these organizations compared to the government or the business. But I believe they give certain advantages also for personal development and for the development of the issues, the organizations themselves. I think they are a good tool for learning because they are very flexible, unlike the governments. I myself have brought probably hundreds of people from Bulgaria, Russia, other countries to countries in Western Europe to see how their colleagues are working. And they freely exchanged ideas and practices. This is because NGOs, non-governmental organizations, are flexible, but they also don't care much about intellectual property. You know, in the business, what you do is your property, it's your competitive advantage, you have to protect it. Well, in civic organizations, you like mostly to share it and to see other people in other countries doing it and having the same results. So this is a good place actually to learn. Civic organizations are mostly funded by donations, by money that is given for free. This is called grants, and this is what we are giving mostly to Bulgarian organizations. So it's money that you don't expect profit from. But this doesn't make it any easier because it's very difficult to understand whether you're actually achieving the results that is meant to be achieved. So you have to collect a lot of information about your beneficiaries, about the people you provide services to, about the whole environment, whether it's changing. So in the business, you can look at the end on the profit and loss account and the number of customers or clients, and that's fine. But in our work, that's not enough, and tracking your actual results is much more difficult. And I wanted to tell you exactly about what we call advocacy, because this is one of the main powers of civil organizations. Advocacy can be compared to lobbying, but lobbying is usually done for private interest. There are lobbyists, companies, people who are paid to go to speak to important people to protect the interest of certain businesses, companies, associations of companies. While advocacy is when you stand for a certain issue that is not in your private interest, that is for everybody, or at least for a large number of people. And we support in Bulgaria a lot of organizations that stand for various issues, and because the philosophy of our organization is that in a really democratic and open society, you have always to have different views. We sometimes support at the same time organizations that oppose each other, that have controversial views about what should be done. At the beginning, I thought this was a way stupid thing to do and a waste of money, because you know from physics that two opposing forces, they cancel each other and nothing would happen. But actually it's not the case, because in the public debates, everybody produces more and more arguments. They start to have a deeper understanding of the issues, and at the end of the day, this produces a very good result. That's what I was exactly making this point here, and I wanted to give you the example of shale gas. You know, there is such a debate in my country, in other Central and Eastern European countries for sure. This is a new kind of extracting gas which will make us more independent from Russian supplies. And there are a lot of lobbyists involved in this, because of course there are Russian companies who don't want this. There are other, for example, American companies who want to do it because they extract this gas. And together with the lobbyists, there are a lot of advocates. These are ecological organizations that genuinely believe that you shouldn't do that. And also there are some economic think tanks that believe that you should do that because it's good for our GDP, for employment, and so on. So we can support both of these organizations that advocate for completely controversial solutions, and actually it makes sense to do it. So actually NGOs, civic organizations can achieve a lot. They have achieved a lot in my country. Unfortunately, your topic is not one of the issues that we have made much progress. Actually, services for elderly people in Bulgaria are very bad, and we have not managed to do anything about migration. So the good ideas are still to come. That's why we're very happy about our cooperation with Leuphana University. And finally, just some words of caution. Of course, not everything can be achieved, neither in business nor in government, also not in civil society. When people are very ambitious and want to achieve everything, they often lose easily hope, and we call this, it's called burnout, you know, when you suddenly start thinking that whatever you did until now is not good, it doesn't produce results. And of course, in these issues are controversial, and there is a lot of conflict involved. When you stand for certain cause, you will always find somebody to oppose you, and sometimes these opponents are quite powerful. I'll finish with this. Just to tell you a recent public discussion, because in Bulgaria many people believe that our problems should be solved from Brussels, from the most developed European economies, and Germany is especially a model. For Bulgarians, Germany is a model often given as an example how our country should develop. So in a recent discussion, exactly about civic discussion about the demographic issues, a guy from the audience summarized better than any sociologist the feelings of the common Bulgarian, and he said, our politicians will never do the right things, but I'm sure that somebody in Germany knows how to solve it for all of us. So I have my doubts on this one. I thought that this somebody, because these are issues still to solve, this somebody or these people must be among you. They must be. You are in one of the good universities, have been selected among a lot of students. So I wish you success in the work.
Thank you, Bojan. You also deserve a rose. Thank you.